Hey everyone, it's been a while. It's been a long time since you've heard my voice on this channel. If you remember, the last time I spoke on this channel was when I was taking requests for AMV back when I was in, like, middle school, high school, something like that. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to make this new video for shits and giggles. So here is every Vocaloid ranked by their ghost rule scream. But first, I want to get some things out of the way. I'm just making this video for fun, so if your favorite Vocaloid gets a low rank, it's not personal. Please don't get mad. Keep in mind, I'm ranking these specifically based around the scream near the end of Ghost Rule, not the whole cover, not anything else, just that one little bit of song. If your favorite gets a low ranking, doesn't mean they're a bad Vocaloid. It just means that I personally did not like their scream in this one song. Some Vocaloids did not have a cover of Ghost Rule yet. Trust me, I looked. I spent hours scouring. For the ones that did, I picked the cover with the scream that I liked the most, personally. If I didn't pick your cover, please don't get mad. Don't get offended. It was really hard to pick for some of these. Like, I went back and forth on a lot of them. Also, if I did choose your cover, but it got a low rank, again, this does not mean that I don't like your work, I don't like the Vocaloid, or any of that, you know. It is solely based on how much I personally liked the scream at the end of this song. Just the scream, not the whole cover. Capiche? Good. Now to clarify what these ranks mean to me. S rank means that I really, really love it and would actively seek it out to listen to it. It's probably on my personal playlist, Make Vocaloid Great Again, which I've put in the description below in case you're looking for new Vocaloid music, so yeah, it's always growing, go check that out. A rank means that I really like it, but it's not my favorite. It's missing just a little something to make it truly addictive for me. B rank means I like the scream, but it could be a little better. I probably wouldn't seek out this scream, but I wouldn't mind listening to it. Like, I wouldn't skip it in the car or anything. C rank means that I found it kinda average, kinda meh. Again, I wouldn't seek out this scream. I don't necessarily like or dislike it. D rank means I actively did not like the scream. Not the cover, just the scream. I probably think it needs a little bit of editing or something to make it a little better, and I would probably skip this scream in general. And then F rank means that the Vocaloid in question did not have a cover of Ghost Rule as of when I am making this video. I looked before writing the script and recording, today, so yeah, unless YouTube is hiding it from me, I can't find a cover. Alright, let's get into it. First up, we have Anon. Anon, for me, gets a C rank. Her scream is very robotic, which is kinda cool, but just not the vibe I want for Ghost Rule. Or at least not for the growl. I think the harmony in this VSQ kinda clashes a little bit when it's tuned like this, so yeah, just not my fave. Next up we've got Canon. Canon for me gets a B rank. It's a little better than Anon's for me. It's a little less robotic and it has some vibrato in it, though it is a little bit of a slow vibrato. Also, just as a side note, can we talk about the fact that this cover only has like 12,000 views, despite Velvet's VSQ being one of the ones that a lot of people use? Like, y'all, go give this cover some more love. It's really good. Go go give Velvet some more love. I know they don't upload a whole lot, but like, please, they deserve some more love. Next on the list, we've got Aoki Lapis. And Lapis, for me, gets a C rank. She's very cute, her voice is very, very cute, but she kind of sounds like she's struggling a bit with the yell. I don't know, maybe she needs to drink some water. She sounds a little dehydrated. Next up, we've got Arsloid. Arsloid, for me, surprisingly gets a B rank. Honestly, it's pretty good. I don't usually like Arsloid, but his yell is pretty decent. Not as intense as I want it to be, though. That's why it is in the B rank. Next up, we got my girl Ivana. Next we got Azuki. Azuki also does not have a cover, which means she is joining Ivana in the F rank. Next we've got Big Al. Big Al for me gets a B rank. I really like Big Al's voice, but again, the scream is just not as intense as I want it to be. I know he doesn't have a growl because he's kinda old, but I'm dying to hear him growl. I know it's possible, it's just kinda difficult when you've got, like, a V2. So, if someone can manage to make him growl, please do it, because I need to hear it. Next on the list we've got Bruno. Unfortunately, Bruno does not have a cover, so he is going in F rank. Next up we've got Chica. Chica, for me, gets a D rank. I'm sorry, Chica. I'm sorry, all the Chica fans. But she also sounds dehydrated. Like, please go drink some water, girl. She sounds so dehydrated during this growl. Other than that, the cover itself has some small mixing issues that are only really noticeable when you're wearing earbuds, but it is a really good cover, and I highly recommend it. Especially for anyone who likes Chica. Next up, we've got Clara. Clara, for me, gets a C rank. I want to mention that I could only find a remix of Ghost Rule for Clara. She doesn't have a normal cover of it. I actually really like Clara's yell here. It's more powerful than I expected it to be, but unfortunately the rasp in her voice just kind of irritates me a little bit, and I feel like the notes leading up to the growl could have been a little bit stronger. So, yeah, she gets a C rank for me. Next up we've got Cull. Cull also gets a C rank. It sounds pretty similar to Anon for me. It's similarly robotic sounding, but she's got a little bit clearer of a melody going on. The harmonies aren't overpowering. She's got a pretty powerful voice, but it's just not my favorite growl. Next up, we've got Cyber Diva. Cyber Diva for me gets an F rank because she has no cover. Tears. Next up, we've got Cyber Songman. Cyber Songman, for me, gets a D rank. I'm sorry, Cyber Songman, and I'm sorry to anybody who likes Cyber Songman. Again, I could only find a remix for this one. He doesn't have a normal cover. The cover itself has some pretty interesting uses of his voice, but this growl is just so weak. It's just nothing. He doesn't hold out the notes. The growl is kind of quiet. It's just not... It's a no from me. Next up, we've got Dana, I think that's how you say it. Dana, Diana, something like that. She gets an F rank because she has no cover. Next we've got Dex. He also has no cover, so he also gets an F rank. Next we've got Fukase. Fukase for me gets an A rank. Despite not having a growl, his yell is so nice. It's honestly kind of pretty. His falsetto is just so pretty. And his voice suits this song really well. Next up, we've got Gachapoid. And this may surprise some of you, but Gachapoid gets an S rank and is the winner for Best Growl. No, I will not argue about this. He wins. He has the best growl, hands down. Blew my socks off. His intense growl is accompanied nicely by the sound effects of the chaos around him, something that is rarely left in these covers. 1 billion out of 10 would listen again. Next we've got Gachapoid. Gachapoid for me gets a B rank. It sounds really nice, but there's no power behind it, and it makes me kind of sad because it's Gachapoid, and I feel like there definitely should be some power behind that growl, but there's just not. Next we've got Galico. Galico also gets a B rank. She sounds kind of similar to Miku for me, but a little softer. She has a decent amount of power behind her as well. So that's really nice. But yeah, she just, it's good, but it's not my fave. Next we've got Haru no Sora. Haru no Sora gives me good vibes. She gets an A rank. I wasn't expecting her to be this powerful, but dang, girl got pipes. She made good use of the vibrato in Velvet's VSQ because it was loud and pronounced. So yeah, I recommend Haru no Sora. She's got a good growl. Next up we've got Miku. And Miku for me gets an A rank. I'm using the original song because that's how Deco 27 wanted her to sound, so I think it would be kind of unfair if I used a cover for Miku. So yeah. It's pretty flat compared to some of the covers that add a little bit more flourish to the scream, but it is pretty powerful too. Like, Miku's got pipes, and that scream gets the point across even if it doesn't really growl. Next, we've got Hayama Kiyoteru. And surprisingly, he gets an S rank. First of all, that growl. It comes a little out of nowhere, but like, I really don't mind, 'cause it's like, dang. Second, the vocalization after that yell, amazing. The cover itself is also really good in general, though I recommend not using earbuds because the mixing is a little weird in some bits. Like, there's a little small crackle of static, and it made my ears feel kind of weird, but that's probably just my ADHD-fueled sensory issues, so yeah. But like, 10 out of 10, that growl. Next we've got Ia. Ia, unfortunately for me, gets a B rank. I was really wanting to like this one a little bit more because I love Ia, but her growl is just not that intense. Next we've got Kaiyuki. Kaiyuki for me also gets a B rank. She's so cute, but oh my gosh, she cannot scream. Her rasp is really cute though. Next we've got Rin. Rin gets an S rank, hands down. Also, I know that I used a remix for this. I know there are countless covers that use Rin that aren't remixes, but like, did you hear that growl? I couldn't just not use this cover. My one complaint about this cover is that that growl only happens once. It's so delightful. I want it to happen more. Next we've got Len. Len also gets an S rank. God, his growl is so powerful. To quote my favorite comment on this cover, he lion. Next we've got Kaito. Kaito for me gets a B rank. I know some of y'all are gonna be mad, but I expected more from Kaito, to be honest. Like, it's a good yell, I like it, but where's the power? Where's the growl? I know he's capable. Where is it? Give it to me. Next we've got Kizuna Akari. And she gets an A rank from me. This cover deserves so much more love because Akari's yell, while kinda soft, is so very pretty. It's similar to how I feel about Fukase's yell. Next we've got Kokone. Unfortunately she has no cover, so she's going in the F rank. Next we've got Leon. Leon also goes in F rank because he also does not have a cover. Next up we've got Lily. Lily gets a C rank from me. Like, it's okay. The cover's really good, but the yell just didn't do it for me. And like, I'll be honest, I don't really like Lily's voice bank that much. I say, having listened to Wave on repeat all day. Next we've got Lola. Lola also has no cover, so she also goes in F rank. Next up we've got Lumi. Lumi gets an A rank from me. Like, oh my god, this cover and this yell, they're so pretty. Soft, but pretty. Just like Lumi herself. Next we've got Luo Tiani. I think I'm saying that right, probably not. Unfortunately Luo gets a D rank from me. I do feel kinda bad about this one, because I know that the potential is there, but this just kinda... like, judging this purely on the growl itself, while it is an intense growl, it kinda sounds like she's gargling something. Like, you know how you gargle after you brush your teeth? That's kinda what it sounds like to me. Does that make sense? Yeah. This cover itself could use some editing as well, but I really appreciate the effort that went into this cover. It seems like the producer is trying really hard to improve their mixing and tuning skills, and I, for one, look forward to their future work. So, yeah, keep up the good work, bud. Next, we've got Makne Nana. And Nana for me gets a C rank. It's pretty robotic, and I like when Nana is tuned in this robotic style, but the growl just, again, was not there for me, so yeah. Next up we've got Micah. And Micah for me gets a B rank. I was tempted to use a Spanish cover, but I liked this one the best. I typically don't like the growl in this VSQ, but this cover uses it pretty well. I just wish that the yell had some more power behind it, but overall, dang, pretty good. Next we've got Matcha. And Matcha for me gets an S rank. While it's not quite as powerful as the others in this category, there's a very natural sounding growl in this yell, and I really, really love it. It's also some of the best Matcha tuning I've ever heard, so yeah. Next we've got Mayu. Mayu for me gets a B rank. I like the power behind Mayu's yell. It's a really good cover. I just feel like it's not quite as intense as some of the others on this list. Next up we've got Gumi. and Gumi gets an S rank. Am I biased because Gumi is my wife? Yes. However, I absolutely love the growl in this cover. It's somehow soft like matcha's, but also intense like Gachapoid's. So, yeah. 10 out of 10. I love Gumi so much. Next we've got Luka. And Luka gets an S rank. I normally am not a huge fan of Luka, but again, this growl is great. It's pretty natural sounding and not too overwhelming and sudden, and I also really appreciate that Luka is growling throughout the entire song rather than in just the yell. Makes it feel more cohesive. Next we've got Meiko. And Hime, for me, gets an A rank. I am a bit sad that there's no growl in this one, but they are a V5, and I know that they can growl, so I'm a little disappointed. Next, we've got Meiko Mikoto. And Mikoto, for me, gets an S rank. Mikoto's voice has so much power behind it. I wish there was a growl, but not having one doesn't detract from this beautiful scream. Next up, we've got Meiko. And Meiko gets an S rank too. Again, I know there are a lot of covers that use her and aren't remixes, but I thought that this cover was really unique in the way that they tuned her. I really like how robotic she sounds, because you don't often hear that with Meiko. And the scream had a really nice growl that was very unique because of this robotic tuning. So yeah, Meiko, S rank. Next up, we've got Merly. I don't see Merly used very often, but she gets an A rank from me. Her yell's a bit soft, but it's actually a really nice scream. I guess the A rank has kind of turned into the soft but pretty category. Oops. Next up, we've got Mew. Mew gets a C rank from me. It's very flat like the yell in the original song, but also very robotic like Anon's scream. Not bad, just not my preference. Next up, we've got Mirai. And Mirai, for me, gets a B rank. She's got a pretty powerful yell, but something feels a bit off about it. Next, we've got Miriam. And Miriam, unfortunately, does not have a cover, so she goes an F rank. Next up, we've got Mo Kingxian. I think that's how you say it. But yeah, Mo does not have a cover, so I can't. She goes an F rank. Next up, we've got Nekomura Iroha. Nekomura gets an A rank from me. She doesn't have a growl, but that light vibrato is so very nice. Like, I've been sleeping on Nekomura, to be honest. I didn't know how good her voice was until, like, making these videos. Next we've got Oliver. Oliver for me gets a B rank. He's got the power, surprisingly, but Oliver's voice just really isn't a good fit for Ghost Rule in my opinion. He's got a really breathy voice, and it's just not the vibe I want when I come for Ghost Rule, so yeah. Next up we've got Otomachi Una. And Una for me gets an A rank. Her voice is a little raspy, but still powerful. Next up we've got Prima. Prima does not have a cover, so she gets an F rank. Next up we've got Rana. And Rana gets an A rank. Rana, while she has no growl, does have a powerful yell, but that's to be expected, because Rana's voice is very powerful in general. Next up we've got Ruby. Ruby for me gets a B rank. Her yell is pretty good, but it's not my favorite. There's some light timing issues, but nothing too major. Next up we've got Sachiko. Sachiko for me gets an A rank. It uses the same VSQ as the Kyoteru cover, so it has those good vocalizations after the yell. The yell itself is less of a growl and more of a vibrato, but it's really heckin' pretty either way. Next up we've got Siyu. Siyu for me gets a B rank. She has a pretty flat yell like Miku, but it's still pretty. Overall, pretty good yell. Next up we've got SF82 Miki. And Miki for me gets an S rank. Y'all, do you hear her? Queen! I love how this was tuned. It may not have much of a growl, but like, God, it's so good! Next up we've got Sonica. And Sonica for me gets a C rank. Like, meh, it's a decent yell, but it's pretty weak. The cover itself is really good, just not my favorite. Next up we've got Amy. Amy has no cover, so she gets an F rank. And next we've got Chris. Chris also has no cover, so he also gets an F rank. Next we've got Kaori. Kaori for me gets a B rank. It's a pretty good yell, but not as intense as what I'd like it to be. The cover itself is really good, but at the very end it kind of sounds like she's out of breath and really needs to sit down. That's not really a complaint, more of just a little side note. I think it was kind of funny. Next we've got Ken. Ken also gets a B rank. This cover's pretty similar to Kaori's, just a different voice bank. It has the same breathing at the end too, which is kinda hilarious to me. Next up we've got Sweet Anne. Sweet Anne has no cover, so she gets an F rank. Next we've got Tohoku Zunko. She gets a B rank. She's got a very soft and raspy and cute voice. It's a little less raspy than Clara, but also a little less powerful than Clara. But yeah, B rank. Next up we've got Tone Rion, and unfortunately Rion has no cover, so she gets an F rank. Next up we've got Tonio. And surprisingly to me, Tonio gets an A rank. He's got a lot of power behind his yell, especially behind the first part of it where he says sham. But yeah, it would be really cool to hear him growl. But his voice bank is pretty old, so I understand. Next up we've got Uni, and Uni unfortunately does not have a cover, so she gets an F rank. Next up we've got Unity-chan. Unity-chan, for me, gets a C rank. The scream is decent, the vocals themselves are pretty good as well, but the mixing is a little bit off, and the harmonies, while interesting, are a bit too loud for me. Next up, we've got Utatane Pico. And Pico gets a B rank from me. Pico stans are gonna kill me for that, but he just ain't got the power behind his pipes. Flower is up next. And she gets a B rank from me. I know she can growl. Where is it? Where did you hide it? The yell is really good though, not gonna lie. Like, it's got power, but where's the growl? Next up we've got VY1. And VY1 gets a B rank from me. It's a pretty nice yell, but it's quiet, and it's not that intense, and there's no growl. But it is pretty. Next we've got VY2. And VY2 gets an A rank from me. The growl is really nice, but not quite as nice as Kyoteru's. The covers are by the same person and use the same VSQ. Next up we've got Shinhua. I think that's how you say it. She gets a C rank from me. It's okay. The cover is really nice despite some mixing issues, but the growl is kind of meh for me. Next up we've got Jing Chen. She gets an F rank because she has no cover. Next we've got Yanhei. Yanhei also gets an F rank because it also has no cover. Next we've got Vocaloid. And he gets an S rank. It's not as intense as some of the others in this category, but it sounds so good, bro. Like, oh my gosh. The whole cover is really interesting, but especially that yell. Next we've got Yu Zhengling. She gets a C rank from me. She's kind of the same as Xinhua. The cover's good, the mixing is a little weird, and the growl is meh. So. Next is using Longya. Doesn't have a cover, gets an F rank. Next is Yumemi Nemu. Yumemi gets an A rank from me. She's very powerful with a nice growl. I don't usually like Nemu's voice, but she sure can growl. Next we've got Yuzuki Yukari. She gets a B rank from me. Her voice is a little raspy and not very intense, but it's still pretty good. Next we've got Ziyu Moke. Moke does not have a cover, so he gets an F rank. Next we've got Yu. Yu gets a C rank. It's pretty similar to Anon, but this time it's male vocals. It's pretty robotic, but interesting nonetheless. We've got Kyo. Kyo gets a B rank. It's pretty good, but it's kind of similar to how I feel about Kaito. Where's the intensity? And lastly, we have Will, who does not have a cover. He gets an F rank. And that's about it. That wraps it up. Yeah. Let me know. Who's your favorite Vocaloid? Who had your favorite growl? Because mine is still definitely Gachapoid. He is the king of Ghost Rule growls. It's non-negotiable. He wins. Yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you got some laughs out of this. I know I did.